Hello everybody, welcome to Roll and Move Reviews. My name's Kirk, I'm your host. As always, thank you so much for watching. As you can see, I have two very important guests with me today because we are introducing a new segment for Roll and Move Reviews, which is the Junior Review Crew. That is made up of, why don't you tell them your name and how old you are?
I'm 7 and my name is Jackson.
And?
I'm Noah and I'm 11.
And these two are going to be reviewing some games with me, games we play together, games they enjoy. So if you got kids in the family, kids you want to play games with or buy games for, these are the videos that you're going to want to watch to see the games that they're going to enjoy and the games that you're going to enjoy together. In keeping with our Halloween theme, the game we're going to start out with is Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. And I'll go to the table, I'll show them how to play the game, and then we'll come back and talk about it. How's that sound? Alright, we'll be right back. The game's going to start out with each player secretly being dealt one of these role cards. And each role has its own little ability that the players are going to get to play out within the game. And there are a lot more role cards than you can get to play in any one single game. So you're going to be swapping these out as you see fit to create new combos and new effects. The game suggests that you start by playing two werewolves. And you always have to have the werewolves in because these are our targets in the game. If you're one of these characters, one of the villager characters, then you are hunting down the werewolves and trying to find out who they are. If you are a werewolf, you're trying to stay hidden and get somebody else to be accused of being a werewolf. So you have two of those in. And then for the starting game, like I said, you have a seer, a robber, a troublemaker, and you fill in the blanks with these villager cards. Now, I won't go into detail for every role, but I will talk about the ones in the starting game just to give you an idea how the game plays. So you deal these all, like I said, secretly face down. And then there's always going to be 3 extra cards that don't get dealt out. And those are going to go in the center. So you never exactly know which roles have been given out and which ones haven't. Once everybody's gotten their card and had a chance to look at it, the night phase begins. You can either have an announcer player designated to walk everybody through each step in the game, or you can download a free app that does it automatically. I really recommend the free app because it just frees all the players up to focus completely on the game. So like I said, this is the night phase, and in this phase of the game, everybody's going to close their eyes, and then in rule order, players are going to take turns opening their eyes, doing their action, then closing their eyes. Everything's done in secret. So in this starting game, the first players to wake up will be the werewolves. And if 2 of them are out there, then they can just look at each other and know who's who, and that way they can kind of work together when the time comes. If there's only one werewolf, he gets to peek at one of these cards in the center and get an idea of somebody who's not in play, and hopefully, use that as a distraction later on. Then the seer wakes up. The seer can either look at another player's card or 2 of the cards in the center. The robber will swap his card with another player's, and then he gets to look at his new card. Then you have the troublemaker, and she is just going to swap the cards of 2 other players without looking at them. I put all the villagers in the center. These generic villager cards really don't do anything. They're more or less just decoys. So once everybody's gone through and had a chance to do their action, everybody wakes up, and now it's the day phase of the game. The mechanical portion of the game is over at this point, and now you're just trying to figure out who these werewolves are. And you do that, you just start talking. Somebody says, maybe I was the seer, and I looked at this person's card, and I know who they were. Or maybe you're the werewolf, and you lie, and you say, I was the seer, and I looked at this card, and they're the werewolf. And that's how the game works. The villager characters are going to be trying to hunt down the werewolves and deduce who they are. The werewolves will be less than honest. They're going to be trying to divert suspicion, and basically get all the other players' eyes off of them and onto somebody else. So you're going to be going through that phase for however long you set a timer for. When the time is up, you're going to count down 3, 2, 1. Everybody points at the player they think is the werewolf. Whoever gets the most votes, that character dies. So if a werewolf gets killed, the villager players win. If a villager gets killed and no werewolves die, then the werewolves are going to win that game. So it's very quick. You go through, you argue for a few minutes, you kill somebody off, you see who won, and then you play again. That's One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Okay, Noel, what did you think about One Night Ultimate Werewolf?
How you get to lie without getting in trouble.
Alright, what else?
And it's, a mystery.
You like solving the problem and figuring out who everybody is. Yeah, that's a big part of the fun. How about you, Jack? What do you like about it?
I like that the characters, because like they make the fun.
Yeah, they trying all the different characters out. Yeah, that's a big part of the game, especially for these two. They like to swap out all the different characters and see what they all do and see how they all interact with each other. So that's a big part of the fun for them. Noelle, is there anything you don't like about it?
The villager, because he's kind of boring. He just sits there and does nothing.
Yeah, the villager is kind of a necessary evil because if you play the villager and you flip him up, you're like, oh, you don't get to do anything that round. But at the end, when people start bluffing, you kind of need that neutral character that doesn't do anything. It makes it a little easier to bluff. These guys like to take the villagers out and play with more characters, and that's fun because everybody does something, but it makes it harder, like I said, at the end to bluff. What's up?
The villagers are like bad at the end, kinda, because like if you say you're the villager, people are gonna kinda think you're the werewolf because like the werewolf.
Yeah, I mean that's the easiest thing to say when you're the werewolf is that you're the villager because you don't have to explain what you were doing. But like I said, it's nice to have it there still to try to bluff with and work with.
So it's hard at the end if you're the villager.
Yeah. Noelle, anything else you have to say about what you think about the game overall?
It's like fine, but if you're the villager, it could be boring. So yeah, I like it.
Jackson, what do you think?
I like it too because like the characters make it the game because like the characters are definitely the funniest part, but always the funniest part.
Yeah, like I said, that's what they love about it, is playing all those different characters. They don't like the villager, obviously. And when you play, your group is going to decide what characters they want in the game and who they want to take out. And you'll be swapping back and forth, and everybody will have a good time with it. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Say bye. I do want to point out that just because I reviewed this game with kids, that doesn't make it just a kid's game. You can play this game with adults, you can play it with children, any combination thereof, and I think everybody's going to have a good time. Age on the box is 8 and up, but my son started playing when he was around 5, and it took him a little bit of time to wrap his head around the whole concept of the game, but once he got there, he really enjoyed it. There's no reading in the game. All the rules are spelled out pretty simply in-game, so it's something that I think most people at a young age can grasp pretty quickly. I know you may think that because of all the deception, the subtlety, that children may have a hard time competing with adults. I can tell you that's not true. My kids picked up on that aspect of the game frighteningly quick, and they really mastered that whole, like, I'm just a cute little kid. I don't even really know what's going on here. What do I do? And then bam, they're the werewolf and they've snowed everybody. So kids and adults, I think, in this game, for the most part, are going to be on a level playing field. Hardest thing with kids, but adults have this problem too, is because so much of the game is based on secrecy and secret movement. You have a problem with somebody's turn come along and your eyes are closed. You're trying not to pay attention, but you just hear as they're doing their roll, whatever it is, and making all this noise and bumping into people. And you're like, oh, I guess so and so's the seer because they just smacked my arm on the seer's turn. So that's a problem, like I said, with everybody though. But that's something you get the hang of, and people stop doing that relatively quick. Also, it's a challenge, I think, for new players just to have, again, young or old, just what to do the first couple games they play. People tense up, especially if they're the werewolf. What do I do? What do I say? Fortunately, you can play 1 or 2 practice games in a matter of 10 minutes maximum. And by that point, I think everybody kind of gets the hang of it and knows what to do. And again, that playing field's leveled out. Box says 3 to 10 players. Definitely recommend playing with a larger group, just because A, there are some rules that don't work unless you have a big group of players. B, with a small group, it can be either too easy to hone in on the werewolf player, especially if the werewolf player is a little more timid. If the werewolf player on the flip side is a little more bold and willing to filibuster, a smaller group makes it easy for him to really divert attention away from himself. With a bigger group, it's easier for the werewolf to hide, but also with all those conflicting voices, it's a lot harder for him, to direct traffic and divert attention. So definitely recommend a bigger group. And it's a great game for that. Like I said, it's a nice big party game. You get a big player count, and everybody has fun. Not a lot of downtime. Everybody's doing something. Everybody's trying to figure something out. So I think it's a great game, and definitely recommend it for your big group. One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Thank you once again for watching this debut episode of Roll and Move Reviews Junior Review Crew. Please leave us a comment, let us know what you thought, and tell us what games you'd like to see us review in the future. While you're at it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. Also, be sure to check out our sponsor website, alteregogames.net. It's a great game site. It's going to get you a lot of great deals on all the games you're looking for. Be sure to check out Noelle's new YouTube channel, Everything Bagel. She's going to have a lot of fun things on there for kids, so be sure to check that one out. If you want to watch some of our older reviews, you can find them on YouTube, Facebook, Board Game Geek, or the Alter Ego Games site. Otherwise, that's all I have for today, guys. Until next time, have fun out there.
Dad, we know you're the werewolf.
I have no idea what you're talking about.